To use the waiting line theory equations, all we need to determine is lambda and mu. Let's take an example. Customers arrive at a beauty shop at an average rate of one customer every 30 minutes. Well, that's the arrival rate. That means it's lambda. And the arrival rate is stated as 1 every 30 minutes. So let's call that 2 per hour, or 2 arrivals every 2 hours. We could express it in a minute, but that would make the customer's very, very small fraction. 2 per hour sounds reasonable for this example. So what is the service capacity in this case? Well, the beauty shop can complete 3 haircuts per hour, and the shop operates on first-come, first-served basis, and all customers remain waiting in line until they are served. So this all means that we can apply these waiting line equations nicely, and the value of mu, or the capacity in this case, is 3. So there you have it. Lambda equals 2 and mu equals 3. When working with Excel spreadsheets, it's always nice to put the variables in a place where you can find them, so you don't have to retype them time and time again. In this case, we stored the value for lambda, which is 2 customers per hour, in cell K21, and the value for mu, the service capacity, as 3, and we stored that in cell K23. So when we perform the equations, all we have to do is type in the formula and make reference to the cells that hold these values. Let's take a quick example by trying to solve the average number of customers or units in the system. In this case, it's customers. So the formula is L equals mu divided by mu minus lambda. We want to put the answer in cell E6, and you will notice that the equation is K21, which is lambda, that's 2, divided by the difference between mu and lambda. And we enclose those values in parentheses so the math works out the way it should. Always, always, always make sure that you keep your parentheses, and parentheses are always in pairs. If there's an open, there must be a closed parentheses. Let's take another example of the average time a customer spends in the system. Well, although they arrive at the rate of 1 every half hour, it actually takes them about an hour to get done based on the service capacity. And the way we figure that out is 1 divided by mu minus lambda, and here it is, 1 divided by K23 minus K21. Again, K23 is mu and K21 is lambda. When you're dealing with a square in Excel, the notation, the caret notation, is what we use. So we want to square lambda. Lambda is enclosed, or is found in cell K21. So our formula reads equal K21. That's the caret. It is the shift 6 on your keyboard, and the caret stands for raised to the power 2, squared in this case, and then divide by K23, that's mu, times the subtraction of mu minus lambda in parentheses as such. And you will get an answer that the number of people at any time in line is about 1 1/3 person. The rest of the equations are solved equally and just as easily by simply substituting the values for the contents of the cells K21 and K23 into the respective formulas.